Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel in metal shaping. This is the video part 2 of the air cleaner thing that I showed you in the last video, how to make that, but it was a little too long to do the opening. So now I'm going to show you how to flare this out in the bead roller. And I have 66 video on YouTube, but I don't think I have shown you how to do that flare before. So hopefully you will learn something new. So I prepared with the piece that I made in the first part of the video, and I cut out the hole. I grinded a little bit more so it's more all round. And I need to bend this. It is little to figure out what size of hole, how much smaller it will be. If I want a 4 or 5 inch carburetor, then if I'm bending it on 5 inches, then it's the hole going to be a little smaller because of the radius. So I measure this one now, and this will be just a little bit bigger. So we will see what size I'm ending up with. But that's something that you must practice at home and do at least one piece to figure out what size you're going to end up with. And it doesn't need to be a round piece like this. It can be a rectangle, or say a square piece that you cut a hole in, and just work with that in the bead roller to see what size you need to cut out to get the 5 inch holes flanked. So let's go to the bead roller and start bending this. So I'm over here at the bead roller, and this is a close-up video, so you can see what dies I'm using for bending that flange. And it's very simple dies. It's no weird combination or anything. It's just 2 flat dies, and I line them up here. And I'm using the 2nd generation bead roller, but this can be done in my 1st generation bead roller and maybe a few other bead rollers as well. It depends on if you have one. You need to have one with a motor and quite a bit strength on the motor, because we're going to stretch the flange in the bead roller between 2 flat dies. So it's to do it in a hand crank bead roller, I wouldn't even think about that. Before I can bend this in the bead roller, I need to give it a start. I can't start in the dies, so I need to take my special plier that I had with me from Sweden and put that on the scribe of the circle there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend it like that. Okay? I think, maybe see if I can do a little bit more. It probably help if I can bend it a little wider area, so I get a start. There you go. Hope you can see what I did there. So I just bent that so at least it is 45 degrees in one spot. That gives me a start in the bead roller. Once I get the start in one turn, then I can just keep going. But I can't have it flat like this and then bend it up. I need to have it at least 45 degrees so I have clearance for the frame in the bead roller. So let's go to the bead roller now and start work on this. So I'm going to stay on the side where I'm feeding it in. The camera is on the side that comes out, but I hope it explains what I'm doing. So there is the tricky part is to get the first bend there. So I need to crank this down behind the sheet metal here. So this is all the way down, so it's grabbing the metal. So I slow down the speed a little bit. Yeah, this works fine so far. Yeah, I should go a little closer to the line. So I'm looking at my scribe line there. It's hard for you to see it, but it is a scribe line there. And I would like to be exactly on that scribe line, because that is an eighth of an inch bigger than the 5-inch. Sometimes it's hard for even for me to see the line. So that probably was the trickiest part there. And of course it is little tricky to make this circle round and go after the scribe line. But practice and practice and you get better and better with it. And if you see that you missed the line a little bit, you can force it one way or another and make it a little bigger. But you see now that we are still not 90 degrees. So what I need to do now, if I'm happy with, I can crank this one down just a little bit more and see if I can go just a little bit faster. So now I'm going to go in and stretch it further in on the flange because I need to stretch that part there. I don't need to stretch it more where it's bent. And you can already see now that we got more and more 90 degrees. And you see how I'm holding it pretty steady here and holding my left hand there so I can support it there. So it's the same pressure, so the same angle of the flange. I think we are, at least it came out really nice, but then it depends on if the hole is 5 inches or not. But as I said, you know, you must make a test piece first to see that you got the size of the hole that you want. So now I go in a little deeper again just to clean it up a little bit, the flange. And I mean, you can go slower speed if you have a speed controller on your bead roller. You can go slower speed. So let's take this one out and take it to the table and look what it looks like. But overall, I'm really happy with it. It actually looks round too, so. But you know, I have used the bead roll for many years and practice. So practice and practice makes you do better and better. And practice to do better each day and be a better person each day. That is the goal every morning when you wake up. That you got to be a better person. Let's take this over to the table and look at it. So, I haven't done anything else after the bead roller, but I took the tape measure and measured it, and it is 5 inches and almost an eighth of an inch. Almost an eighth of an inch. And I measure there, it's 5 1/8 of an inch there. So it is little too big. So I added 1/8 of an inch all the way around it, so I probably should have added 1/16 of an inch and bent it after that scribe. Then it should be very close to 5 inches. But on the other hand, if this flange have kind of a little edge protector, you can buy those on Amazon. It's a rubber that is with a slot in it, and you can put that over here, so that will seal to the carburetor. That will help it too, and maybe that is better than just have it metal to the carburetor. But that is something that you can experiment by yourself to do that. But you see that it was pretty quick done. Result, it's really smooth and clean. It actually came out better than I thought. The first one that I did in a class before, I mean, I was happy with that, but this one came out actually better. So every day is a school day, but that's the part of metal shaping that makes it still fun after so many years. So that's what I had for today's video. This was the second part of the bottom of the air cleaner. If you want to make something like that, if you don't need it, that's fine, but make one just for the practice of it, to understand how the metal moves more. As I said, the more knowledge you have, the more better job you can do and the faster job you can do. And you saw that this little flange, it was no shortcuts or anything like that. And you see how quick that came out in the bead roller to do that. And maybe you need just a flange like that for something else in the future, not an air cleaner, but you need it for something else. And now you know how to do that. So if you want more information about my classes, books, DVDs, go to www.lazzemetalshaping.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.